The dominant theme in Emerson's Nature was to illustrate the harmony between humans and nature. He believed that the generation he dwelled in persisted to be retrospective in the fact that they would glance back on previous traditions, cultures, and history. Emerson thought that their generation should be looking at the present because they can be better enlightened in the current surroundings. Therefore, the universe is composed of nature and the soul, which means that everything that is in the soul is nature, which includes all other men and my own body. In Chapter 5 of Nature, Ralph Waldo Emerson describes nature as a discipline of understanding and reason. Understanding, matter, is the rational knowledge of how sensible objects are alike and different. Reason, mind, uses the lessons of understanding and transfers them in its world of thought. Together, just as the mind and matter are dependent on each other, so are understanding and reason, and the physical and spiritual complexities of nature. Each relies on the other to form a complete relationship. Hello class, today we'll be continuing our discussion on Chapter 5 of Ralph Waldo Emerson's essay Nature. Yesterday we discussed an overview of the chapter. Today we are going to take a more in-depth look at this first section of the chapter, Understanding. In this chapter, Emerson claims that there are different steps to which man can come to comprehend nature. The first step he talks about is understanding. Emerson says that every property of matter is a school for understanding. This means, in modern terms, that we can learn and thereby understand things from everything on this earth.
Mr. Kelly.
Yes, Mr. Sather.
Emerson mentions property and debt a good amount in the beginning of the section. What is he trying to get at by mentioning these things?
I'm glad you asked that. Property and debt are two of the natural objects that Emerson says that we need to understand. In the modern world, we view debt and property and social and economic issues. Emerson says that debt is a preceptor whose lessons cannot be forgone and is needed most by those who suffer most from it. Emerson believes that people who experience debt are the ones who will benefit most from the lessons of debt. Property, Emerson says, is merely the surface action of internal machinery, like the index of a face on a clock. In saying this, he means that property is flaky and can lead to the debt he discussed earlier. He connects the two natural objects when he says property and its filial systems of debt and credit. By saying this, he is directly connecting the two. Property can bring about the good things economically and socially, but it can also bring about debt or bad economic and social issues.
Mr. Kelly, I have a question.
Yeah.
Emerson also mentions will a lot towards the end of his section. What do you think he's trying to say with that?
When Emerson brings up will, he uses it as a source for humans to have power. He specifically states this in the last paragraph of the section when he says, "The exercise of the will, or the lesson of power, is taught in every event." According to him, we can use the power obtained from exercising our will to control nature and thus make reflections of ourselves, which is expressed when he says, "Nature is made to serve us."
Mr. Kelly, I'm a little bit confused on how we can relate this to the modern day.
This relates to the modern day because we can take his view on property and debt to help understand and better ourselves individually in the economic and social aspects of life. Also, by using our own will, we can dominate nature and make it our own. This can be applied to everyday life because our own free will is what determines the outcome of our life. So through the lessons we learn from the ups and downs of property and debt, we can make choices through our will that will make us better people. Today we're going to talk about nature as a discipline.
Wait, what did nature do wrong that has to be disciplined?
No, you've got it all wrong. Nature is a discipline, a field of study where we learn to gain orderly conduct. Things like time, space, climate, and animals give us daily lessons where we can use understanding and reason, also known as mind and matter.
So we need both understanding and reason combined to teach us about life?
Exactly. We cannot have one without the other. It's similar to a marriage. Understanding, matter, relies on reason, mind, to be complete.
Seems kind of tiresome, all these exercises of the mind.
Maybe to you, but these necessary lessons help us to remember that mind without matter gets us nowhere. Lessons from common sense can instruct us that good thoughts are no better than good dreams unless they are executed.
Wait, so do we perceive differences in nature through understanding?
Yes, space and time allow us to realize that things of nature are not lumped together, but separate and individualized. Each one has a specific use.
Oh, so kind of like water is to drink and coal is to burn, and like coal cannot be drunk just as water cannot be burned?
You're starting to get it, I think. Our insight improves us. It's impressive, isn't it? The universe is overwhelmingly large, so what we know is a point of what we do not know.
It's exhausting, but powerful.
That's why knowing the particular parts of the discipline of nature need to be addressed. Will and unity.
As thy will be done.
Yes, but that's enough for today. Tomorrow we will continue talking about will and unity in circles.
Great, because I'm so much better at math.
Okay, class, today we'll continue our discussion with two important concepts, will and unity.
Oh, so they kind of go together like Prep's hockey program and their state championships?
Not exactly. Let me be more clear. Will, or the lesson of power, is taught in every event. We are one with nature because we have the power to mold nature into a reflection of ourselves. More and more, with every thought, does his kingdom stretch over things, until the world becomes, at last, the double of man.
So nature reflects our conscience. It's in a way moral and spiritual.
And don't forget the great doctrine of use, that a thing is good only as far as it serves. And even though the variety of things makes unique impressions on us, there is unity in variety.
I get it. The unity of nature.
Exactly. The moral law lies at the center of nature and spreads to the circumference. Nature's truth is cyclical. The unity of all objects in nature is expressed in the shape of a circle. It is like a great circle on a sphere, compromising all possible circles.
So there is more likeliness than difference in each creature and thought?
Yes, every truth we express in words suggests every other truth.
But that's only words. What about actions?
Wow, if every truth agrees with every other truth, what about our actions?
Unity in our actions is even more striking. An action is the perfection and publication of thought. So you see, mind and matter cannot stand alone. Both are needed for us to see likeness and differences of nature. By seeing the parts with significant attributes, we also discover the universe as a whole, each part playing an important role to us to be in harmony with nature.